Salutare tuturor! Am dat peste această carte de la Anabel Carmel, ghidul complet pentru înțărcatul copilului, rapid și ușor. Asta înseamnă diversificare de la 6 luni. Dar aici nu sunt rețete doar pentru cei mici, sunt rețete și pentru cei mari. Cum vi se pare Fruity Chicken Curry? Deci vă spuneam că astăzi gătim, alături de mine este Anabel Carmel, care, dacă vă apucați să citiți cartea, are o introducere care nu are nevoie de introducere. Este autoarea celor mai bine vândute cărți despre alimentația și nutriția copiilor din Marea Britanie. Ceea ce nu spune aici este că este cunoscută și recunoscută la nivel internațional. Are o grămadă de cărți pe care le-a publicat despre alimentația copiilor. Diversificare, autodiversificare, iar ceea ce vom găti noi astăzi aici nu este doar pentru cei mici, ci și pentru cei mari. So, hello!
Salut!
Or salut, okay. So, what we are cooking today?
So, I think that it's, interesting to give children different types of food. So curry, I'm doing a fruity chicken curry. It's an introduction, it's the children's first curry. And it's quite mild and it's got apple in it. And it's very simple to make. So the first thing you do, and I know you have 2 kids, is you take some onion, you chop it, and you just saute it.
Okay.
So I've got 3 kids, and they were all very fussy. And I wrote my first book because unfortunately I lost my first child. She died when she was really young. And then my second child, Nicholas, was the world's worst eater. And he liked apples. So what I would do is I'd take chicken, which he wouldn't eat, and I'd make chicken and apple balls. And by putting the apple in it, then he liked to eat the chicken. So
really?
there were always ways to find a way to get a fussy eater to eat something.
Okay. What should I do?
Well, in a minute you can put the garlic in.
Okay.
And if you want to, you can peel the apple.
I will try to.
Can you do it all in one go like this?
Yeah, I'm
Are you
trying.
good at this? Okay, there you go. You can do that. So I'm from London.
How is weather in London?
The weather in London is not too bad, actually. I quite like it. I know it's quite strange, but I love living in London. It's an amazing place. And it's my first time in Bucharest. And actually, I didn't realize until a few weeks ago that I have 3 books in Romanian.
3 books?
Yeah.
Actually, I've read one of the books. So we have it over here. It's next to the other book that my wife used to read while she cooks for my kids. As you said, I have 2.
Yes.
1 boy, 1 girl.
Yes.
The
Nice.
boy is, thank you. The boy is 2 years old and my daughter is around 6 years old, which is good. No, I didn't do.
No, that's fine. You're doing it really well.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Excellent.
So I know some of the recipes that are in your book, and I think they are quite easy to make by a man. You know?
That's good.
Because
Actually, a lot of men cook. I think it's becoming very popular in England. Like from Jamie Oliver, like to be a good cook. And my son, he's in his 20s now, and he's a really good cook. And I think it's really important. So when my children were really young, like 5, I got them to cook for the family every Friday. Like they would leave them and they would make something like this. I would chop the onion up. I wouldn't let them use maybe sharp knives. And that's how they learned to cook. And they love like being part of adult life. And they would make the whole meal for us.
So do you recommend to use the kids on daily routine when you cook?
Yes, I do. I think it's really important because, school doesn't really have enough time to teach kids how to cook. And when you're teaching them how to cook, they're learning about maths, about time, about measuring, so many things, and they love it. And if you have a fussy eater and they cook, they're much more likely to eat it because they've had a hand in preparing it. And not just cupcakes, but something proper like this.
Oh, okay. So cooking with your kids creates a connection between you and your kids?
Because they usually...
Brings you together?
Yes, it's really good bonding.
Ah, okay, good. So, should I let only spoons, I think, around my kids?
Yes, up to a certain age, but actually, when they get to 6 or 7, I think it's really important you teach them how to use a knife.
Okay.
Because otherwise, one day they'll experiment themselves, and that's when they'll have an accident. If you explain to them that it's, you have to put it down this way, never hand it somebody like this, and how you peel with a knife and you're careful with it. Because when you think about it, these children, they can do these really complicated computer games that we can't do.
Yeah, right.
If something on my computer, I have to ask my children. They're perfectly capable of doing something like this. We have to teach them about the kitchen. Like, it's hot to touch this. Like, the kettle is hot. You need oven gloves. And if you don't teach them, one day they'll do it and they won't know. So it's more important that you let them know and you let them try.
So first of all, we have to wash our hands, okay?
First, we have to wash your hands.
Then...
Have you washed your hands?
Yes, I did that. I did that. We didn't film that. I didn't think it's proper to do that, but I did that. So we put the onion over there.
Now we're going to put the garlic in.
Okay, we put the garlic in. You put the garlic in. I'm just assisting.
That's okay. Well, you've done the apple.
Yeah, kind of.
Okay, but now you can cut the apple up into like slices.
Slices. Okay, I'm trying to.
I'm going to cook the garlic not for very long.
Something like this.
Yes. So and then you can cut it into maybe 3.
Okay, perfect.
So that's why it's called a fruity chicken curry, because it's got apple in it.
Okay.
So I'm really well known for cooking for babies. And until I wrote my book, everybody thought babies only like bland, tasteless food. And I thought, I'm going to try this out on all the babies. And I tried the bland, tasteless food, and guess what? They didn't like it. So so why should they? Like, we don't. So then I made things with garlic and herbs. Yeah, you can't add salt. We can still make it taste good. So my book's all about flavor and introducing good flavors to children. And so everything tastes nice. In fact, you could make a lot of my baby purees into meals for the whole family. And I changed the way that babies eat in England. And my first book, which I couldn't find a publisher for, I could not get it published to begin with, sold over 4 million copies. And it started a whole career for me. And now in England, we make like ready meals, baby purees. We do everything for kids. And now I'm sort of bringing my brand all over the world. And it's so nice to be in Romania, where I think mums really care about what their children eat.
Actually, they do. They like to prepare like every day a different meal.
Yes.
Which is kind of hard because you don't know always what to cook.
I think it's coming up with ideas, isn't it? It's like having that inspiration, like especially if you're working. And I think what happens is like children become quite fussy.
Yeah.
And then you make a few things and those are the only things they eat. So then you think, just for an easy life, I'm going to just make those because I know they're going to eat them. But the trouble is that the more narrow the amount of foods they eat and restricted they are, the more extremely fussy the children will become. So I think it's really important to introduce them to flavors like curry and then to eat together as a family. Like, not always, I mean, it's not always possible, but if you can eat together, they're more likely to try something with you.
Your recipes are easy to make. I mean, they are taking a lot of time.
No, they're really easy. So this can be made from beginning to end in like 15 minutes.
15 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm putting baby corn in here, and I'm going to add...
I should cut it much more smaller?
Maybe a little bit in half, so it's not too thick.
Not too thick, okay.
I think everything should be quick and easy, and I try and make my recipes so the whole family can eat them. You don't have to make a separate meal for each member of the family. That's what a lot of people do, and it's really time consuming. So I think I was trained by my children, because if they like something, all 3 of them, that's a winner, because all 3 of them are quite fussy.
But you said that they are not that small anymore. No,
they're all in their 20s. In fact, my daughter now works with me. I worked out that the only way to see her when she gets older is to actually have her in my office, otherwise you never see them. And it's really lovely. It's nice because one day she'll take over my business, I think, hopefully. She does enjoy it. That's perfect. And I'm going to put this in. So I put in the baby corn and I put in some apple.
Okay.
That's probably enough.
So oil, it's supposed to be olive oil, so, or...
What kind of oil?
What kind of oil? Yeah, that's the question.
So that's an interesting question, because it's really important what type of oil you use.
Yeah.
I don't cook with olive oil. It's not such a good oil for cooking with. I'm using sunflower oil, but the other good oil is rapeseed oil. But it's not so easy to find.
Okay.
What do you call it?
Rapiță.
Rapiță. It's very healthy. It's very good.
Very healthy, yeah.
Yeah, that's good for you.
We use it to move cars around, so it's very healthy.
Oh, that doesn't sound so good.
Okay, so oil.
I sauteed onions, garlic, now apple, now baby sweet corn.
Baby sweet corn.
Yeah, and now I'm going to add all these yummy things over here. So I'm going to add, I sauteed my chicken, okay? So I just cooked that a little bit, and I'm going to add it to the pan. We live on chicken. My kids love chicken, so I
It's
do a
very
lot of
hard
chicken
for me,
recipes.
I already like to taste the food,
Yes.
although it's not done yet.
This is stock, chicken
Okay.
stock.
Chicken stock.
Okay, you will be tasting it in a minute. And then I'm going to add, this is tomato puree.
Okay.
Okay. You said that my English is strange because I speak English,
No,
not
it's
American
strange.
English.
You just have to get used to it because you are using some other words than I'm used to. But that doesn't mean that it's strange.
Is that because in Romania you watch a lot of American television?
Perhaps.
Because they call it tomato and we call it tomato. It's
Potato,
different.
potato.
Exactly.
No, no. Maybe it's because of the American movies, but
But you
it's
all,
a little bit different.
but
yeah.
you all speak very good English here. I'm very impressed.
You should go to Israel. You've been to Israel?
Yeah, I have.
Well, everybody there speaks English.
Yeah, because
It's
if
quite
you
good.
because if you go around speaking Hebrew, no one will understand you outside of Israel.
Yeah, right.
What chance have you got? This is mango chutney. So I'm popping some of this in here.
Okay, mango.
Mango chutney.
Okay.
This is curry paste.
Okay.
Okay, you can use, this is a red curry paste. You can
Okay.
use korma curry paste. Okay, it's reasonably mild. Okay, and then we've got coconut milk. We add that.
So,
There we go.
can I?
It's starting to smell. Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Curry's from India, right?
Curry's from India. Although there's a curry in England called chicken tikka masala. Do you have that here?
No, I don't think
Really popular. Everybody thinks it's from India, but it's not. It's from Birmingham in England, because a lot of Indian people live in the north of England.
so. Yeah.
So curry is really popular. So I always smell. Do you always smell your food before you?
Yeah, I do
There's
that.
something about smell. I have to smell it first before I taste it.
Because if it doesn't smell good,
Good,
and
exactly.
right, it doesn't
Yeah.
taste.
And also, I think like children eat with their eyes, so sometimes it's really important to like you make things look good. So
right.
you're making something like a fish pie, you make it in a small dish like this, rather than you put a dollop on a plate. It doesn't look attractive.
Actually, I tried that at home. I served the same food
Yes.
to my kids, but I just put it in a different bowl,
Yes,
and they choose to eat the food that looked good.
exactly.
Although, as I told you,
Yeah, but the thing is, what they do is like you serve them something, and they say that's yucky, I don't like it, but they actually haven't tasted it. So how do they know? So what you can do is you put a reward chart up on the wall. And
Okay.
every time they try something new, even if it's a tiny bit of something new, you give them a star. And then when they've got like 6 stars, they can stay up late and watch a TV program or do something that they really want to do.
smart idea.
It's a good idea. So like they get something for doing something. Otherwise, you give children attention when they don't eat. So if they're not eating, you say like, well, do you want something else? And that's how they get attention. So I give no attention for not eating, and I give attention if they try something new.
Actually, I tried that last night.
Did you?
Yeah, it worked.
It's kind of psychology with children. And the other thing is they're not eating and you're eating as a family, and you put it on your plate and you say, sorry, you can't have it, it's mine. Then they want it.
I've tried that.
That's also good.
Yeah.
And if it's really difficult, like, and they don't eat vegetables, I like blend all the vegetables into a tomato sauce and I put it on pasta. And then they can't pick them out and they don't actually know they're there. So
Really?
there's all sorts of ways of getting fussy eaters to eat.
Okay. I don't have fuzzy kids when it comes to eating or something. They eat a lot,
Mine were difficult.
so I don't have that problem. But my true problem is that sometimes, as today, after we film this
Yes.
and everything, I have to go home and prepare something for my daughter.
Yes.
She's coming from school and I need to do something for her, and most of the time I have no clue.
It's having that idea of what to cook is the thing. And that's why I think, you know, my inspiration is like, if you look through the book and you can find recipes that you like. And a lot of the recipes in my books, even though it's for babies and toddlers, they work very well
No,
for
they're
adults.
not, because I ate.
They're good as well.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
taste really
yeah.
good. It smells good, doesn't it? It does smell good. The next thing I'm going to do is, so I've cooked that for 10 minutes. I'm going to add some peas.
Okay.
These are just frozen peas. And just let those cook up for a few minutes. And then it's kind of ready. You get to taste it.
Yeah. Phew.
Breakfast.
While you are cooking,
Yeah.
I start reading, and I found this book, Baby-led Winning Recipe Book.
Yes.
Actually, you know, last night when we met,
Yes.
I was trying to translate the term from Romanian into English, And I didn't. Thank you very much. Now I know.
Baby-led weaning.
Yeah.
So this is a new way of feeding babies where you don't feed them, but they feed themselves. So they have to learn the hand-to-eye coordination. And so I make like food into like little chicken balls or meatballs, salmon balls, and sticks of vegetables. And it's quite an interesting way of feeding babies. Or you can do purees and finger food together. But this is my latest book. It's just come out in the UK.
So, you are doing this for 25 years. How many books have you read? Right, because I think you read a lot of books.
Maybe. Actually, I've probably written more books than I've read because I've written 43 books now.
43?
Yeah, and I'm just about to publish early next year.
Doesn't
my
your hand
latest
go
book.
numb at one time, you know, from the writing?
Do you know what? It was so hard to get my first book published, and I was a musician. I never trained to write cookery books. I played the harp, and I sang.
Really? You played the
so
harp?
different. And I actually studied in London and in Amsterdam. And it's all because I lost my first child, and then my second child was the world's worst eater. So I felt like I really wanted to get this child to eat. It's terrible. And so I made up all these recipes for him, and I was running a big playgroup in London, and I was giving all my recipes to all the mothers in the playgroup, because they all had fussy children. And every week they'd say to me, like, these are so good, like, what else have you got? So I was giving more and more recipes, and then eventually they said, you know what, you should write a book about feeding children. And I thought about it, and I thought it would be a great legacy to Natasha to write a book in her memory.
Yeah.
So I wrote the book for Natasha, but it took me 2.5 years to write the book, because everyone I asked about feeding children gave me different opinions. There was so much like confusion. So I worked with researchers, and when I wrote my book, it was all based on like scientific research, and the book came out in 1991, the first book.
1991, yeah.
And that book,
I was so young back then.
you weren't born probably.
No, I'm not that young.
That is the book that made my career. It was that book. I never had any idea when I was writing it that it would be so popular, because I thought I'd go back and play music. But now, like every single year, I bring out a book or 2 books. And
So
I'm
it was
always
hard.
cooking. It was
it's
hard.
kinda-
It's really hard at the beginning, because no one takes you seriously until you do something that's successful. But to be successful, you have to get that door opened, and it's really hard. And I think a lot of mothers want to do something, be with their children, but want to work from home. And I chose writing because I could be with my kids. And I had 3 children very close together. But I still had a career.
You know how I felt when I started being a blogger, a daddy blogger.
It's nice to be a daddy blogger, no?
Yeah, but it's very hard because
It's very hard.
mothers doesn't take you seriously.
Why? Because you're a man?
Yes.
Oh, really? I think there
Exactly.
isn't enough about like dads being involved with their children. It's all about to the mother. But the dad is really important.
It's
And don't
kinda
dads
brings-
cook?
Yeah, a dad can bring like the right thing into the family, helping the mother, raising the kids, making the connection right.
Yes, it's really important. So, and a lot of the famous chefs are not women, they're men actually.
Yeah.
That's interesting. So there you are. So I'm going to let you taste this now.
Okay.
So we made some rice.
Okay.
It's a bit cold, but I might. No. Okay.
Nu pot să vă spun că de poftine să mănânc acum mâncarea asta.
We'll have to pretend that you're a young child.
You know, we have a saying that men never.
Grow up.
Yeah, so I'm just
I don't
a
want
boy
to grow
into a
up.
man's body.
Absolutely. It's really important.
I don't know how it is.
No, it's good.
My wife says different from time to time.
There we go. Oh, wait a minute. Finishing touches.
Ah, come on.
A little bit of coriander. Maybe not for children because they don't like coriander on top
No,
of
this
it,
is
for
for
an
me.
adult.
This is for me.
Okay, so we always say the proof of the pudding is in the eating. Like on film, you don't know what it tastes like, so we have to rely on your judgment. I want you to be honest.
Okay.
Not too honest if you don't like it, but just like, let's see. Smells good.
It's
And
hot.
it looks nice.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I like chicken.
It's your first taste of curry if you're a child. And it's easy, quick. Everything's made in the same pan, not lots of washing up.
Can I swap the fork with the spoon so I can eat it more? It's okay. They're good actually.
Oh, good. I'm so happy you like it. You can take some home and get your children to try it.
Today I'm not gonna cook for my kid. You already did that. I'm a lucky person.
Yeah, so my children really like this. I've got 3 kids, a boy and 2 girls. And if they all like something, I know I'm onto a winner. Because they're all quite difficult.
Puteți să mă urâți. Este genial.
Good, I'm glad you like it. So something to try for the whole family. So that's from a book that I wrote called The Family Cookbook, which is all about cooking for slightly older children.
YouTube, I eat. Perfect.
Good. So I even do chicken curry puree for babies because you can't add salt for babies. But if you add a bit of curry, it adds flavor without adding salt. So it's really tasty and people think, oh, I couldn't give a curry to a 7-month-old. But actually they love it, as long as it's a little bit and it's quite mild. And it's quite surprising what children like. So my child, when she was 18 months, she ate a whole bowl of olives. We were on holiday in France. I said, you won't like this. And then she ate the whole bowl. And I think that mums don't realize that they have these quite interesting tastes and that you need to explore them. And the more different and varied tastes you give them in the first year, the less likely they're going to be to be a fussy eater.
Aceasta este prima rețetă pe care am gătit-o alături de Anabel Carmel. De fapt n-am gătit-o, eu doar am gustat-o. Ea a avut destul de multă răbdare cu mine. Și cred că este cea mai bună încheiere pe care o pot face. Poftă mare!